I gotta say, I'm glad you mentioned Lacombe. We got free my man Lacombe. We can't be making these shirts and selling them if he never plays a game. Come on, free
Hey, it
Lacombe.
doesn't mean he won't be on the roster in
Yeah, I
4
know.
years. We'll just bring the
Hey,
shirts back. They're not
he
dated.
gets a
They just say
medal.
Welcome back, Benchwarmers, and we are here to discuss some Olympic hockey. And of course, as always, Aaron, our hockey analyst, joins us. Welcome back, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going, man? Long time no see, right?
Yeah, on here, maybe
On
not
here.
At work, but on here, long time no see for sure. But appreciate you coming back on. And like I said, we're going to talk into some hockey here, and which is Aaron's specialty. And with the Olympics going on, we have gotten down to the semis for the men and the final for the women. We'll go over the men stuff first. We'll wrap it up with the women. But I guess your first thoughts on group play now that we're already past that, and kind of was there any major highlights that you had or want to discuss before we move on to the semis and matchups?
Yeah, I mean, it's just super cool seeing actual NHL players back over at the Olympics. It's been so long. And it's funny hearing on the broadcast them mention guys that played for the teams last year who were rookies or like had not made it pro yet, or just kind of the only few people that still had Olympic games in the past 10 years, were not few and far between on these Olympic teams. So it was very clear the teams that had a lot of NHL players dominated, and as they should.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of how it should be. Obviously no
I
Russia.
think I saw like a crazy stat. It was said that the U.S. has 25 guys on the roster. They're all in the NHL. Canada, same thing. And then I think it's the other two countries that are still left that have like 20 guys or 15 plus, and everyone else has like sprinkled in a couple here and there. And again, playing those, well, they could be professionals, but in other leagues in Europe and stuff, I guess, or the minors in the United States.
Non-NHLers,
yeah. So,
and that's just kind of the way it's been. But now we've got everyone's back. You got guys that have been there before, like Crosby, or longtime NHLers, Carlson, all that. Speaking of Crosby,
I saw a picture. I'm not a huge Pokemon guy, so I have to clarify which one this is. I know the main one. But there's a picture of Bedard, Crosby, and Bedard, McDavid, and Crosby on the bench. And somebody said it's basically the three evolutions of the Charizard from Pokemon. I don't know which level is which, but I was like, dude, that's the perfect way to describe that. Holy shit.
They're all kind of at different stages. McDavid's in the peak of his career. Celebrini's just getting started. And then you've got Crosby, who's still playing, still dominating, actually, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, Celebrini. Why did I say Bedard? My bad. Yeah, Celebrini.
Celebrini, yeah.
I'm so just because
it's funny you said Bedard, and I totally didn't even process. I was like, he means Celebrini.
Well, yeah, you knew who I meant. There's the pictures online of them. Bedard's not even on the roster, so obviously it's not
funny
Bedard in the picture.
You really would have thought a year ago maybe he would have been there, but I think he got hurt halfway through the year, and Celebrini's just on a whole nother. He has like 80 points right now in the NHL.
Dude,
which is
he's insane. Gonna be. I mean, I hate to say it because as a Ducks fan, I don't want the Sharks to be good, but having all the teams in California be good and competitive is great for the NHL and great for us as Ducks fans. So
it could very well be that way at the end of the year. We'll see how they fare out. I know the Sharks will come down to earth a little bit. The Ducks are kind of middling out there in the wild card to third place spot, but we'll see. But yeah, it's cool seeing all these guys play together. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, these weird combos and the matchups. Overall, it's been fun games too. So nothing's really been super boring.
No, and I think the Four Nations face-off stuff last year has. Oh yeah. Not that all these guys were in that, but the guys that were, I think it's kind of carried over a little bit, and it's kind of especially if we get the final matchup that we want, we'll get a little bit of leftover blood from that. So that'll be fun. Okay, now as far as the groups, obviously Canada won Group A, Slovakia won Group B, Team USA won Group C. Throughout that, were there any teams that maybe, I don't know, shocked you a little bit, played a little better than you anticipated? Because obviously we're expecting the four that are in the semifinals to be there, but getting through the group play, was there anybody or a team that like stood out to you more so than others?
I think in particular, actually kind of Sweden surprised me in how they struggled at times in the competition. Like they still got in and they made a run for, obviously lost to the USA today, but they definitely felt like a team that should have been a lot better. There's so many NHL talents on that team, and kind of seeing them struggle at times. And obviously Leo Carlson was supposed to be there for them. Yeah. Didn't work out with his injury. So that kind of sucks to see him not be there, but they definitely kind of shocked in the wrong way, that the fact that they were struggling, and a little bit too Czechia, the Czech Republic, they definitely seemed good at times and then not so good at other times. Obviously Dostal and Gudis are our Ducks.
I was going to say, is it weird that the goalie and the defenseman on that team are ours, so it kind of feels like we're watching the Ducks play? But
it really did, and you see, especially at the end too. I hate saying this because I see so many Ducks losses, but Gudis go to comfort Dostal at the end of that. And I'm like, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's kind of. there was a little bit of a theme in December and January. It's kind of a little better since then.
Oh yeah, for
Obviously,
sure.
we're not on that tanking level that we were at, but
No, it's
yeah,
definitely recovered.
and I think if anything, this is going to benefit the Ducks too, because all these guys are going to come back. And as you mentioned, Carlson didn't go, which sucks, and Lacombe's there and not playing, but being there and getting the experience, and then I think Carlson just hitting home and getting healthy and ready is going to be great for that last 25 or 26 games he got to push. So.
Oh, for sure. I'm glad you mentioned Lacombe, though. I gotta say, I'm glad you mentioned Lacombe. We got free my man Lacombe. We can't be making these shirts and selling them if he never plays a game. Come on. Free Lacombe.
It doesn't mean he won't be on the roster in 4 years. We'll just bring the shirts back. They're not dated. They just say USA.
If they win, he gets a medal. It does not matter. He's there.
That is a very good away point. From him. Dude, that would be dope, actually. He's like 21 years old. He's got a gold medal.
Just chilling. Didn't even have to play. He's like, oh, nice. I'll be ready for next time.
It'll be like that guy is like, I did all this work on the group project, but I still got an A.
He's like, thumbs up. You guys did good.
All right, so then we went to after we got a group play. I'm just going to give a couple of results of the matchups that got us into the quarters. So Switzerland played and beat Italy. Germany beat France. Czechia beat Denmark, and Sweden beat Latvia. So that kind of got us into where we were today, which was honestly, I know it sucks that they played Italy and the time difference, but in a weird way, it's kind of awesome waking up in the morning and there just being 3 or 4 hockey games on.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, it's just a different thing. You don't like the last time I remember anything like that was the COVID bubble, where it was like morning to night hockey, and it was like wake up, there's a playoff game.
Well, you only had one rink, and you had to constantly Zamboni and get ready for and then we had a couple of overtime games in the playoffs, so it dragged everything.
Quarterfinal, the whole thing. It was cool. So yeah, it was
a different way of doing it.
Yep. And I think too, it was actually, and speaking of Italy, it was fun to see them, get out there and actually do okay, considering they would not have qualified if they were not the host nation, so
correct.
We have our goaltending prospect Clara, who just was shelled. I think was it Finland or was it I can't remember. They put up like
whatever
70
that game
shots,
he had like
almost
40. I would say it was ridiculous. And then he ended up getting hurt and they took him out, which was fine because they weren't going to win, and he was amazing. But it does show we got some more guys in the pipeline for the Ducks, which is nice to know. So
and it shows some pride
quarterfinals today. I'm going to give all the final scores real quick, and then we'll kind of recap the games. Slovakia beats Germany 6-2. Canada beats Czechia at 4-3 in overtime. Finland beats Switzerland 3-2, and the U.S. beat Sweden 2-1 in overtime. So obviously, I think the U.S. and the Canada games are the two most important. One, because we want a Canada-U.S. matchup in the gold game. Also, they both went to overtime, so I think we were all kind of stressing a little bit there this afternoon.
It was insane. The fact that, and also the U.S. game going, the Canada game, and the Swiss and the Finns went to overtime too, and they had to come back, Finland too, down 2-0.
I did not realize that.
Which is insane, and they still won it. And I was getting nervous too because the comeback team had won in overtime 2 in a row. So then comes the USA game, we blow the lead. It's only a 1-goal lead, but it was just the thought of, is this going to go 3 for 3? And luckily that wasn't the case. They got business done, and they're still going to play on Friday.
Which I didn't realize until overtime started, and I was asking Tim at work, like, what is overtime in the Olympics? I didn't realize it was 3-on-3 for 10 minutes instead of 5, like we do in the NHL.
And the last time they had NHLers, they were also following the NHL. They did 4-on-4 at the time.
Yeah, I guess Tim said that in the medal games it would be 4-on-4 instead of 3-on-3, but it's just in these other rounds it's 3-on-3, which I thought was interesting.
And they'll go for a full 20 too in the medal rounds. So they're just playing. They're playing like a whole period basically. So there's no shootout.
They're just playing 5-on-5. Who cares?
I know. Though they couldn't have they didn't have any shootouts for the medal games either in any prior years. So there's same thing. It'll still be play continuous.
Totally fine with no shootouts in medal games. But if you're going to do 4-on-4 for a whole 20, why not just do 5-on-5 anyway? Who cares? What's the difference at that point? But 4-on-4 opens it up a little bit, obviously spacing wise. But we did lose 3 feet on the rink in Italy. So
I was going to say, did you notice it? Did it feel like smaller to you?
I haven't really noticed it, but also because the camera's not at the typical angle for like an NHL arena, it doesn't have the same feel already from the get-go. So I can't really tell if I can.
And with the fans being so far away from the glass too, the that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's no banging on the glass.
No banging on the glass. Kind of sucks. But I think for the most part, it was those early pictures. I saw the neutral zone and I thought, oh my God, that's like the circle's center ice dot is like almost touching the blue line.
Yeah.
And it didn't really feel like that way.
No, not at all.
It didn't feel too bad.
I'm just happy they got there and they're playing because I know at one point they were just, they don't know if they're going to be able to play.
The whole rink wasn't built yet, so.
Dude, that's the other thing I think I hate about Olympics is we go to all these places and they have to build stuff for us to
build a rink for no reason.
Nothing to do with it after that.
Yeah. We got all these
Yeah,
buildings over
not
here.
me.
Nothing to you
Right?
know.
Yeah, we already have everything for the Olympics here. We just got to configure a few things, but the buildings themselves are here and
And that
ready
was
for
cool for
20
Four
years.
Nations. They had 2 different venues. They used Montreal and
Yep.
Boston, I believe, right? And it was like
Mhm.
cool different NHL rinks getting to use them. Already
Yeah.
ready to go. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think the fans on the glass is really missed
it's a
during the
missing.
Olympics
It's
because especially
missing.
for the countries and how much people are into it, I think
Yeah,
it would be great. But I understand it's just it's a different way of
it's just
doing
how
it
they
for the
did it.
Olympics.
They just kind of wrapped it up
But
that way. But it was definitely a unique looking rink too. And I think the boards that everyone was pointing out how dark the and now I don't know how much this affects you because I know you're
I was
colorblind,
gonna
but
say, wait, what are we talking about?
but the Olympic colors on the side for this year's and the logos, it's all so dark
Hmm.
colored, and then they have the puck. And there was that second game for the
Oh,
US where Swayman I don't know,
I
did you hear this from
did.
Swayman?
I heard something about a quote. He said he just lost it. Like he was like one of those. It was in the right, perfect spot. He just couldn't see it, and there was nothing he could
Yeah,
do.
and so they asked, well, is it the boards are not white or they're it's just really dark colors, and he let it slip. Oh, I'm colorblind. And he was being dead serious. I thought you'd like that. He was being dead serious. No one had
That
ever
is
known
okay.
that about him, and they're like,
Swayman is
"Oh,
my new
just
favorite
casually."
NHL player. Oh
Just
my
casually,
god,
he's
this
like,
is
"No, that didn't
amazing.
bother me because I'm colorblind anyways, but like I just kind of lost it in the shuffle." Like he
Oh,
didn't
I
blame
did
it on the
not see that
boards.
part of the quote. That makes me so excited, though. I'm not
That's
gonna
so
lie.
funny. And I'm like, "Oh, dang, okay." I don't think anyone knew that about him to this point, so he
No,
just
I'm
casually
sure.
dropped it
Why
like,
would you? It never. I mean,
doesn't bother
nobody
me."
knows about it with me until we have to count shirts, and I can't tell what color they
Yeah,
are.
is it
So,
gray or extra gray? But
all
yeah,
right. So we get through the semis today. I mean, the quarters. Now we got the
yeah.
semis on Friday. U.S. versus Slovakia, Canada versus Finland. So obviously, it sets up what we
Mhm.
want in the gold medal game. What are your thoughts on these matchups? Obviously, I think we're both picking USA and Canada to win, but maybe of the two, if it's Slovakia or Finland, who do you think could pull the upset?
So, I know I've got all this USA gear on, and typically Slovakia is not gonna be, they're not I wouldn't say they were traditionally viewed as the 4th best team out of all the nations that participated, but they've looked quite well. I haven't watched too many of their play. They're in a different group, obviously, from us, but the big, reason I kinda hesitate with the US is they've had good games, and then they've had moments where they look like they're not quite all put together,
Yeah.
and it's kinda scary to watch, and it was a little bit like in the 4 Nations where guys kinda went quiet, and there
Hmm.
was be no more offense, and even today, it was a 1-0 lead that, you get a 2-1 overtime win against Sweden. That's kinda concerning for me, and looking at Canada, they really had their tough game against Czechia today, but they also I think that was coming from a place of they needed to prove something. They beat them so bad the first game that
Yeah,
coming
true.
back, they didn't want to get trounced like 5-1 like they were in the first. So they had a lot to prove there. I think Finland is a good team, and they have a lot of NHLers on that
Finland's got
team
our
as
guy
well.
Granlund, right?
Yep, Captain Granlund over there. So
All
that's kind
right.
of fun. And sneaky, they came back really late to make that a tie game, and they have good goaltending, and they have all the pieces in place to potentially upset Canada. I just don't see it. It's just Canada, I think, is the clear cut in this matchup. They'll get
Yep.
the path to the gold. This shouldn't be an issue for them, and it's the US's game to lose. If they just come out and play a good game, there's no chance that they lose to Slovakia, I think. But they have to come out and play a good game because they've had a lot of games so far where they start slow and they don't
Yeah.
start scoring until the
It's
second or
I didn't think about it until you said it that this U.S. team does have the very same or very familiar feel that they did in the Four Nation face-off
yeah, there's
last
not
year.
too many
It's
different players. It's almost
no,
identical.
like you have all the talent and the ability there, but for some reason it doesn't just quite gel the same. Now, I don't know if just because the guys are playing Canada, maybe they all played in juniors and stuff together, so they kind of know each other more. But I have to feel like the U.S. has something similar. None of these guys
No,
have
they
not
definitely
ever
do. And
played together, right?
I
So
think no, a lot of them have, and I think part of the
yeah.
best part, I mean, even on the overtime winner today, they're new teammates, but you had the Minnesota connection and the Quinn Hughes goal. Um,
Mm.
and you just got a lot of players who are from that area. I think that's that Minnesota connection for like I think 5 or 6 players, and then again, guys actually playing for the Wild too. So there's definitely a lot of guys that know
Yeah,
each
but
other
isn't the
well.
Wild GM
Yeah,
the guy who's put in the
yes,
USA
yeah.
team?
So he's
So,
put
yeah.
all these guys in there, and it's working. They're clicking. Boldy and Faber, and yeah, it's definitely a good look so far, and they definitely have. I think I've noticed it more this year than at the Four Nations. There is a growing chemistry. Like you've got Eichel and the Kachuk brothers on his wings, which is a new thing that's
Yeah.
just it's starting to look like it's solidifying. And actually, I think Matthews is having a much better time of it this time than his. I'll be honest, they named him captain for USA again this time around, and after the Four Nations, I wasn't really that impressed with him, and he's had such a slow year. The Leafs in general have struggled this year, Toronto.
True.
And I saw an article talking about how Leafs fans were very upset at Matthews in one of their games because it was in the crease and someone was near his goalie, and he gets into the scrum. He's first, like, up in some of the other player's face, and they were saying he doesn't do that for the Leafs. Like, he's just kind of not that guy. Like, he's just more of a
Oh
passive
God.
leader over in Toronto. But hey, he proved me wrong so far. He's been, well, I would say, one of the best players for the team, for Team USA here. He's like in it. He's bought in, so that's cool. And I think a lot of those
Yeah.
guys
Well.
are feeling it.
Yeah, and looking at the scoring leaders in the tournament so far, Austin Matthews is tied for 9th with 7 points. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry, is it 7 points? Did I read that right? 6 points, 3
7.
goals, 3 assists. So he's not,
Yeah,
he's not terrible. But again, like you said, just kind of chipping in, doing this. I don't know. I just feel like the U.S. could come out and just beat the shit
they
out of
should.
Canada,
Wow.
but I don't.
Yeah,
I just don't feel like they have that in them. I don't know if it's just
they're
the
a much
mentality of the
more
team. Maybe you said
heavy
Austin
team.
as the captain is not like that rah guy, so maybe they are missing that kind of thing there.
Yeah, they're a lot like heavier built team. They're a more grinding
Yeah,
team. It's
speed.
just they're more about but they still have that skill and talent. Like, especially with I think their defense just outclasses Canada night and day. Like, outside of a Cale Makar and a couple guys over there, you obviously have good defensemen, but
Yeah.
the U.S. defense is insanely stacked. There's so many guys that could have gone. The fact that a guy like Adam Fox, who was hurt but he was on the Four Nations team, he
Oh
ends up
yeah, that's
not
right.
going. It's like that's a guy who could have been there. You have a lot of good talent on that blue line, and that can change a game. That most of the goals for the U.S. I've noticed so far have been just straight up winning a faceoff, it going either to the wing or to the defenseman, and they're surprising teams with that quick speed, and they do have good passing. They have all the elements. It's just a matter of, can they show up ready? I think it's
Yeah.
a more of a motivation thing, less than a talent. They can go toe to toe with Canada, no problem.
Oh man, well we got to get there first before I
Yeah.
get too excited
It's
about
still
this.
got one
Let's
more
be
game to
honest,
get
one
through
step
here.
at a time.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep,
Let's
yep.
get through Friday first, and then hopefully we can get into the gold game and have some fun, and then hopefully Lacombe brings it home and we can celebrate him at Honda Center next week with
I
the
was
bracket. That would be
joking. I
awesome.
was joking with someone today talking about Lacombe, saying, "Watch, an unfortunate injury will happen in the next game, and he's gonna have to suit up for the gold medal game." And it's like, has no
Oh, that
play,
would be
nothing for
amazing.
weeks. He gets, here you go. It's your chance to show that you belong
And then
there,
he
right?
gets the
So,
game-winning goal.
nah, that's the dream. And then we say,
I'm
"See,
giving
you
him
should
the
have been there the
Cinderella
whole
story.
time."
Okay,
That'd be
so we
cool.
got set up for men's semifinals. That's on Friday, obviously, and we have the women's gold medal game tomorrow. It's U.S. versus Canada. Now they did play
Classic.
earlier, I believe, in this tournament, and Canada got shut out for the first
Yes,
time ever.
yes, which is
So
insane.
now my initial thought is, well, they're going to beat the shit out of them again. But you did mention this with Czechia earlier. They lost to Canada
Yeah,
badly the first time, and then they came out and proved something
and they
today
were
in
a
the
lot
semi in the
better.
quarterfinals. So the women's game, I think this might be the best game of the whole Olympics. This might even be better than the men's Olympic gold game if they get U.S. Canada. I don't know. The women's, ooh man, it's a lot. It's brutal out there. I feel like.
And I think everything I was talking about with Team USA and how they just haven't really, they've had some high scoring games, but it's all come in late in the game and they've really had to fight for it. It's not the case with the women's. They've come out and wowed
Not at all.
immediately. Every game they've played, there's just never a doubt that they're going to win it. It's just kind of upsetting if you're the other team to kind of see them on the other end of
Yeah,
the
what they
ice just
score
have all that talent.
it was 17-1 in the 3 or 4 games they played in the first.
It
In
might
the
have been more
group.
than that
I
because they
think
scored more than 5 every game. So it's
so
clearly
then yeah, it had
yeah,
to be
they're
20.
at least 20 plus.
Damn.
Yeah, it's insane. They have so much talent. They have players like Hillary Knight, who is still playing hockey at such a high level, which is
And
insane.
then what's the blonde chick Coinfield, or what's her
Yeah,
name? I
Kendall
can't remember.
Coyne. Yeah.
Oh, she's so good, dude. And honestly, I think this also helps build into the PWHL stuff, like the
Oh yeah.
women's league that's kind of coming and going at this point. So that helps kind of build some momentum into the next season. I mean, are they? I don't know. Actually, are they in the middle of their season? Do they stop for the Olympics, or I don't know when their
I'm not
season is?
actually sure. So they might have had a delayed start, but I know that they
Okay,
just recently had their big kind of rollout year because they had the initial start with just cities, no team
that's
names, and
right.
now they've got their full logos, brands, and jerseys, and
Nice.
they were streaming on YouTube, which is a really good idea, I thought, because you get people
Yes.
nothing holding them back from watching games. You can just
No
literally
blackout
type in, yeah,
bullshit.
exact. Doesn't matter where you're at, you can watch. That's huge for a team that
MLB, are
doesn't.
you listening? Get rid of the blackouts.
No more blackouts. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, they're kind of moving towards that a little bit, right? With going to MLB
MLB's got some
TV.
other problems, as you probably heard with the
I did hear
MLBPA
about
issue
that.
that
Oh
came up.
my
So we'll
goodness.
talk
Holy
about that
cow.
another
I didn't realize how bad
day.
that was too. Oh my gosh. You start
Dude,
watching stuff on it and looking, you're like, oh no.
not good,
Yeah.
not good at all. Not good looking into the lockout situation either. So that's a whole nother thing.
I'm gonna enjoy this last
Okay,
season.
so obviously I'm assuming we're both picking USA to win this game for the women's final.
Sure.
But do you have a score? Do you think it's gonna be close? Are we going to overtime?
It's close.
What are your thoughts?
I think, yeah, it's gonna be close. It's like you mentioned too with Czechia. It's not, you don't just beat a team like that and they're going to just take it lying down. So they're going to come out. It's Canada. They're still a really good team. They've both been, back and forth for medals at the Olympics since the women's tournament was introduced. And so I think if I had to pick a score, I do think it will be higher scoring, but a closer game than what we've seen so far. So it could be like a 5-4 overtime. It could be a 5-4 regulation even, and it's just that last minute they hold on to. But I do give it to the US.
Okay, I'm with you on the U.S. part, and I do think it's going to be close. But I think I'm going the opposite. I think because U.S. scored so much last time that this is going to be like a 2-1 game, like really coming down. Like even 1-1 going into the third, and somebody scores like in the last 5 minutes. Like this is going to come down to the wire. Yeah, I think both these teams are going to be ready to rock and roll, and I am super excited to watch it tomorrow. So let's hope for a good game. Let's hope for a USA win, obviously.
USA.
All right, now. Let us know in the comments below or on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at RviewFTB and tell us why the U.S. are going to win both medal games, right? Right, Aaron? Both of them? We're going to get both.
Sweep. Full, clean sweep.
Oh, God.
100%.
So. That'd be great.
That's crazy. I don't think that's ever, well, it's not happened clearly because they've, since they introduced, because they've only been playing women's hockey since the late 90s.
Yeah, it's true.
So
yeah, and Canada's been winning a lot of the dang medals.
And they always win the men's tournament, so.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, okay, so last thoughts here before we sign off, sir, going into the gold game tomorrow.
I think for the gold game tomorrow, I'm just most excited to see if they can live up to the hype they've built for themselves, because they've built this reputation now. Everyone's paying attention. You see news articles talking about how they've just been so dominant as a team, as a group, and they seem like they're excited for it. They don't seem you see some post-game interviews and everything. This is what they've been waiting for. So I think getting to see them,
I think they're ready for the moment.
Be in that moment would be really, really exciting. And then looking to the game on Friday, I think I just want to see the same from the men's too. I just want to see them be confident, have that swagger. The guys, they got a lot of personalities on that team too, like the Kachuk brothers and even Quinn Hughes, who's kind of a negative personality where he's just kind of like blank face, but he was so pumped with that goal today as the winner. So yeah, most definitely I think they need to come out and they need to have their own big statement game so they can go into Canada if that's who they end up playing. Just full of energy, that would be the ultimate.
Yeah, setting up for that goal game with Canada. If they can make a statement Friday would be fantastic.
I mean, that'd be cool if both teams did that, honestly.
All right, well, Aaron, thank you as always for coming on, sir. Appreciate you and your hockey knowledge. So
of course.
Thank you as always. And
anytime.
Until next time, Benchwarmers, stay ready.
See ya. USA.
This was a Sycamore 4th Studios production.